Greetings, my beloved. This is Anthony Powers here on Togetherness TV, and today we're going to talk about freedom. Freedom comes from the Old English word. It means self-determination. Self-determination. How much of our lives are truly self-determined? How free are we really? In America, I admit that we celebrate more freedoms than in many other places of the world. Whether it be religious freedoms, whether it be freedom of who you love for the most part, equality more so than some other places, not as much as others. But oftentimes, we allow our freedoms to get taken away. We allow our freedoms to get restricted, not only by our government, but also by the people around us, and oftentimes by our own fears and limitations. It is time to relieve ourselves from the constraints of societal conformity, from trying to make the other people in our lives happy at the expense of our own spirits, at the expense of our freedom, at the expense of our right to self-determination. We allow what our parents want us to be, what society tells us that we can be, what the current norms are. We allow these things to control the way that we dress, what vocations we go into, what we study, sometimes who we date, who we marry, which religious scriptures we read or do not read. It is time for us to determine for ourselves in all aspects of life what is for the greater good for me and the world around me, regardless of the influences that are coming your direction. The one thing that each of us were given in this universe is free will. And it is wrong to take away the free will of anyone else, but it is just as bad to allow your free will to be stripped from you. Now, there are different types of freedom. There are some people who are locked up in prison, but their minds are freer than some people walking around physically free every day. Some people get imprisoned, and then when they leave, their minds stay imprisoned. Nietzsche has an old quote that says, "Propaganda is more dangerous than coercive force, for while coercive force attacks the body, propaganda attacks the mind." We must be free thinkers in all things. We must question everything. We must question what they tell us is necessary for our bodies as far as health. We must question what's going on when we get into foreign conflicts of violence. We must question everything. There's like an old saying, believe like half of what you see and some of none of what you hear. We need to be more discerning about our mental freedom, our mental self-determination. And we need to protect the freedoms of everybody else around us. The freedoms and the rights to vote. The freedoms and the rights for people to be able to walk around non-molested regardless of their color, of their ethnicity, of their religion, of their gender, and of who they decide to love. We hold these rights to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. And we have an equal right to decide what is right for us in our own lives. Make sure that you stay free. Be divine. You are so loved.